What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fearlessly Rooted Podcast.
Goodbye.
What was that? Anyway, karibuni sana. As you can see, we are super excited for this podcast, this episode. I have my friends here that will be introducing themselves in a few. My name is Pastor Godwin Mutai. I am a pastor. I am a husband, a father, a son. Like I am many things. But for today, I'm a podcaster. And just before we proceed from there, I want to hand over to my friends here to introduce themselves, tell us who they are, and actually perhaps who they are and what they do. Yeah, because this podcast gets to talk about a little bit of some of the things we do. Yeah.
All right. My name is Jane. You can also call me Pastor Jane.
A regular in this podcast.
Yeah. At this point, you just give me a chair and a name. I think that's it. I'm many things also. I am a sister and a daughter. Yeah.
And a pastor.
And a
you
pastor.
That, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. What's up, my people?
What's up?
Wow, my name is Pastor Sammy Mbugua. Pastor at Mavuno Church, Ruiru. What I do, I'm a fitness enthusiast.
Wow.
No, I'm a fitness professional plus also an enthusiast. All of them.
Enthusiast.
Yes.
We love it.
Deadly. I'm also a father of many nations.
Oh, I see. I thought you have a daughter.
Yes, and I'm also a child. Of Christ of the Lord, yeah. Yeah, so I think, yeah. So other than that, I also love a lot of fit things, godly stuff. I'm about that, yeah.
Awesome. And this is who we are, and that's about us. But we want to get to know who you are. If you could tell us on chat who is watching today, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're watching from. But as you do that, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Oh, who is that one? We can see you.
Down there.
You considering, just click it like this.
Red button.
Click that button. It's a red one. Eh?
Yeah.
Click that button, like this video, share it with your friends, like this audio as well for those who are listening on Spotify, and share it with someone. It could save a life. I've come to realize that these conversations could save a life.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. Yeah.
So in the previous episode, we started a conversation on position for success.
Yeah.
Oh!
Wow.
And we mentioned how none of us actually sets themselves out to fail. None of us wants to fail in life. In whatsoever space, sector, we all want to succeed. But we mentioned that the way the world defines success is not the way God defines success. And so we said, what are your success markers and who has defined your success? Is it God or is it culture or the world? And so if you haven't watched that video, I think it will be somewhere here or here, depending. It will be somewhere here. Click it and you're going to get a full scope of what we discussed. But today, somebody say today. Today is the day. Yes, it's a sunny day, beautiful out here in a beautiful space, a beautiful home. And today we want to actually continue the conversation. But today we're going to have the conversation in this manner. It's titled Busy But Barren.
Wow.
Busy but barren. It's a BB discussion.
It's a BBB discussion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Busy but barren. Now, I want to start with a quote that I love sharing. As far as business is concerned, I normally love sharing this quote. And the quote is this, that business or activity Actually, just removing the business. Activity is not always synonymous to productivity.
Whoa.
Wow. And you've used the heavy word there, synonymous.
Synonymous.
It's a
You know, remember synonyms where we used to say as brave as a lion. Eh?
Yeah.
So it's not synonymous to productivity.
Wow.
Your level of activity does not mean you are productive.
Yeah.
Or you're being successful or you're being fruitful.
Yeah.
So that's the basis of our conversation today.
Wow.
But as we start, I want to actually ask you a question.
Yeah, ask us.
Have you ever been in a space where you are so exhausted, but at the end of the day, you look back and you're like, what was that? You can look back and you think, was I even fruitful in the first place? Have you ever been in such a situation? And maybe you can tell us what situation that was, where you are so busy, you are so active during the day, but you can't account for any fruitfulness that day. Yeah. I think you look like you already have an answer.
I thought Jen was okay. So I'll go. So I used to play soccer. I was before even but also professional soccer here in Kenya.
Yeah.
Though one of the things I used to train 3 times a day. So I used to train in the morning. So in the morning you wake up, you're supposed to be at the field before 7 a.m. So 6 a.m. you're out of home. 7 to 10 a.m. you have training. So it used to be like another 2 hours coming back. So you reach home at around 1, have your lunch, then sleep because you need to do a power nap. Then after sleeping, I used to do mobility and stretching. And then afterwards, I have a gym session, another soccer session. So my day was taken each and every day. So I wouldn't sit down and have said like I did anything else apart from soccer and stretching and doing all those things and mobility and movement. But one of the days I remember when I was seated down, I was like, is this the way I'm supposed to live life? Like tired all the time, not having like yesterday, and of course there are small changes you'll have physically, but I'm not having so much impact. And then also that time is when I was starting to grow spiritually. So I was like I'm not seeing any growth in myself spiritually in other areas apart from the soccer itself. Yeah. So that's a time where I was seated down and then I was like, hey, I think I'm growing. I'm busy. I'm always busy. You can't catch me. You can't even invite me for things. I remember family used to have things. Even Christmas Day, I was always training also. So, but also my important relationship were not well taken care of.
Failing, yeah. Oh, I see. Thank you for sharing that. For you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, first of all, as a lady, we can get to a habit of just being busy. You're cleaning, you're doing what. And by the time the day is over, even if you were just to take stock of what you have done, when you look, the utensils are still there because for some reason, the utensils are always on the sink. It does not matter how much you clean. They're just always on the sink. But I think for me, I feel like that example about being a lady is the one that always catches me because I feel like I need to clean and all that. And also add my other responsibilities. But if I neglect the cleaning and the cooking and the what, it feels to me like I have let myself down. So sometimes you end up so exhausted. You're actually really exhausted, but you're like, but I still need to cook. I still need to do this thing. I've had people ask women, do you ever sit down? So you've done the things that you're supposed to do, the pastoral work, you've done your actual work, and then you're still busy, the walls, the house, it needs to be clean. And at the end of the day, you end up so exhausted. And then you look back and you're like, in fact, these clothes could have been washed tomorrow. But it's the way I'm evaluating myself is that if I'm not able to do all of it and still do the whole thing, then I'm not being feminine or what.
Oh, I see. Wow, that's a very good perspective that I don't think we would have gotten from Sammy. What do you know about being feminine? But thank you so much for sharing that. I think for me, sometimes I can also get caught up in things that it's activity and exhausting, but doesn't lead to productivity. Sometimes it could be replying to emails. You reply to emails and you realize 3 hours have gone. Or you reply to WhatsApp messages, you do errands, you do what? Not bad things, but really they don't add up to any fruitfulness. You don't have to add up to any fruitfulness. And so that's a reality. I don't know about you who's watching or listening. Have you been in a space where you are exhausted because of activity, but at the end of the day, there's no productivity, there's no fruitfulness. You can't account and say this one has changed someone's life. This activity today has brought a success. Like you can't account for it as far as doing your review for the day is concerned. But there's a law that is called the law of first mention. Hey!
First one, yeah?
Very first one.
Yeah.
The law of first mention states that if you want to understand a concept or a principle, you go back to the very first place where it was mentioned.
Oh, come
Okay.
on. Mhm.
And so the very first time where work was mentioned and fruitfulness is mentioned is in the scriptures, in the Bible, in Genesis chapter 1.
Wow.
The first person who ever worked. Do you know who's the first person who ever worked?
Is it Adam and Eve?
Is it God?
Actually, God. I see some depth here. I see some.
No, but you said person.
Well, he's
God
a
is not a
person.
person.
Well, anyway,
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
arguably,
yeah.
arguably. So
Okay.
You can't
the
just
first
let
deity.
people-
Eh?
The first, yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
The one
We normally
who-
say there are three persons in one. Eh? But
yeah.
but maybe I should have clarified. Anyway, it's actually God. He was a first person, the first person to work.
Yeah.
And we see that in Genesis chapter 1, where we are told he was hovering over the waters when the earth was void and full of darkness.
Okay.
There was nothing, there was nothingness there. And he was hovering, the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And then God said, let us make man. Let there be light. Let there be light. So many things now. He started with light all the way to now creating man on the sixth day. Eh?
Yeah.
So that entire story in Genesis chapter 1.
Yeah.
So he begins by working.
Yeah.
And at the end of each day, he saw his creation and he said, it is good.
Good,
Wow.
yeah.
So that's also another thing that you need to be doing on a daily basis. This is the part where journaling is very important. Where you journal, and I know many men, at least the ones that I've met, including Sammy, and me as well.
About journey?
Yeah, you journal.
Journal, yeah.
Say greet me.
Yes,
Good job.
very nice.
Yeah, so
started.
journaling.
Since 2017. I have
I
books
love it.
piled up. But now I use my phone. 'Cause
Now
it's
use your
easier
phone, yeah. It
But
becomes easier.
Nasawingi once in a while,
Yeah.
but I journal.
So the consistency of journaling can be a problem, can be a challenge for men, for many men that I know. Not everyone though. Like Sammy is an exception. Yeah, but writing down things, reviewing your day and saying, this is the thing that happened today. These are the things that I was able to achieve. These are the things that I was able to participate in, so that you can review. Did the things are the things you did good? You wasted time. Eh?
Okay.
So God actually did self-evaluation, and he realized that his creation was good. By the time now he was creating man and woman, he reflected and said, this is very good. This is very good, right? And so, point is, the activity that he was involved in led to productivity.
Come on.
But then in comes man and woman. Now, it's good to note also that God created man and woman on the sixth day, and then by the seventh day he rested. So God worked for 6 days.
Okay.
Then he rested.
Okay.
So God's seventh day of rest, that seventh day when he was resting, was man's first day. Aish!
Wow.
So here is where I'm heading with this.
Come on.
That the first day of man was a day of rest.
Come on.
Okay.
I love
Even
that.
before working. So that's why it's good to understand that activity and being very busy does not always mean now that you are accelerating in life. You need to always reconfigure your life and say, am I working from rest or am I working from exhaustion?
Wow.
Because there are people who are in between exhaustion.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm so tired. Have you ever met someone? By the way, I've met someone who's told me, I am so tired tomorrow at 4 p.m.
I already know.
Oh, I'm tired for tomorrow.
Yeah. So you're tired today and you've already pictured your day tomorrow and you're like, I'm already
tired.
so you're in between tiredness.
Yeah.
You're in between fatigue. Eh? But the principle that God uses for work and rest is you work from a place of rest and not a place of exhaustion.
Okay.
That's why he created man, and the first day of man was a day of rest.
Wow.
Before now starting to work. Anyway, so he comes, he blesses them. In Genesis chapter 1 verse 28, he blesses them and he tells them this instruction. The instruction was in the blessing. The instruction was not in frustrating them and saying, I want to stifle their lives. He blessed them, and in that blessing, he was giving them an instruction. And the instruction was simple. In Genesis 1:28, he said, God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. fill the earth and subdue it. The first thing that man was told was to be fruitful. Now, these guys, if it was in our generation today, someone would have complained and said, but I just arrived.
Yeah.
I've just come from resting, then you're telling me to be fruitful. But God understood that these guys have the capacity, because they carry my DNA, they have the capacity to be fruitful. Now, here's where I want to lead us in this conversation. Adam and Eve, their success was not measured by how perfect the garden was looking. It was not by the perfection that was in the garden. Work was actually something that was meant to be a fulfilling thing, but it was not meant to be something that was draining you. That's why God blessed them. Wow. Someone blessing you doesn't mean, and it's not bless you for you, achoo, bless you. Like, someone blessing you doesn't mean taking away from you. How do blessings work, by the way? Blessings mean I'm giving you.
Okay.
So by God saying be fruitful, it means I'm giving you capacity to be fruitful. So it was not I'm taking away from you your life, I'm taking away from you energy, I'm taking away from you effort. It was, I want you to be fruitful. Here is a blessing to be fruitful. I'm giving you the capacity to be fruitful. So work is actually the context. I remember our pastor teaching us this, Pastor M, and telling us work is the context for fruitfulness. Work is not the goal. Yeah. So you may be employed somewhere. That work is not your alpha and omega. That work is your context for fruitfulness. Yeah. That business, it's your platform for fruitfulness. Yeah, and maybe I've gone a little too preachy on that part, but I want you to maybe share with us what are some of the things that you've seen in our culture. We come from the Kenyan culture. For those watching from abroad, we come we come from the Kenyan culture, our Kenyan context, and in our culture, there's a hustler mentality that goes on in that is part of our culture. Which means not just hustler for defining a person of a low class. No, not that kind of a hustler. We are talking about hustling, like you're doing. We normally even have this. I'm glad one of the Mbuguas is here. We normally have this description for Mbugua. Like Mbugua, he has a hardware, and he also has a restaurant, and he also is in the transport business. Like it's streams of income. They literally have anything. So you go to a hardware and you ask for something that they don't have in the hardware. They don't say they don't have it. Yeah. They just rush to the next shop and they get it for you. But point is, there are many people that hustle, not just organizing streams of income, but they hustle. They are distributing themselves in different roles and responsibilities. What are some of those things that you've seen in our culture that show you that many people in our country are hustlers? What are some indicators that show that many people in our nation are hustlers? They are trying to distribute themselves in many places at once.
Wow. So first of all, you were not preachy. I was really enjoyed that conversation. Some things I hadn't even understood or seen. That man's first day was
rest.
Yeah. That's incredible. So it's a Kimani and Mbugua and Sons mentality, where there's a hardware and it's a butchery, and also in the evening it can be a gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
it feels like you're describing Sammy.
So much.
It's also
please, you can tell me directly instead of this example. Why tell me? Please tell me. There's a way you're moving. I've seen it's a bit.
They're also trading forex.
I thought it was an example.
It's becoming personal.
They sell Wi-Fi also. Yeah. They sell everything. I think okay. So just to explain the Kenyan culture from my understanding of it. So there are also other cultures where it's a very busy culture. For example, like the Japanese culture, it's a very, very busy culture. People work for 16 hours. But the difference between us and them is that in the Japanese, it's the formal sector. So what makes, I think, the Kenyan culture different is that even people who are employed, they also have a kiosk, and then also they have they are trading, and then walisikia, by the way, these days vitu za yo, I'm nining out with English here. But like there's a new deal, let's sell quails. Everybody jumps to the quail thing. No, there's no passion for quail eggs, but because quails is a new thing, everyone is doing it. And there's especially in my culture, the Kikuyu culture, there's a saying, we say no kogeria money, which means I have my foot here and there and there.
I'm just trying.
And so what people success, or rather if you're able to tell someone, yeah, I'm in the matatu business and then I also sell eggs and then also I do this, in fact you go to work and also you remove samosas, you are selling the ndomas and the samosas, there's that. So versus what I would say now, like the Japanese culture where people are working in offices 16 hours. The Kenyan culture for me feels like that's what I guess you were saying, hustler mentality. Yeah. And then also I go to the farm, I also farm there, and also I sell milk, and also I had Forex. Wow, unajua Forex? Do you know Forex? Also we trade Forex. I think that's the Kenyan thing, to just dip everywhere. At the same time.
Yeah. For you, Sammy, that's a very interesting perspective.
For me, it's actually Jana. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, I was looking for an AVC. There's this cable that goes to a computer, the blue one, the old computers. What's his name? Is an AVC? No HDMI. It's AVC. VGA, yeah. VGA. I was looking for a VGA in Car West, the market stalls, yeah. And then I passed the guy who shaves me there. And then he saw me looking for a shop because the guy I was going to was closed. And then he automatically told me, "Ata mimi nafanyanga wiring." So it really shows that. So I was telling him, like, I'm not even looking for someone for wiring. So anything that I've told him, I'm sure he'd have told me, "Ata mimi nafanyanga," whatever. So that's one of the illustrations I learned. And yeah, I know I wouldn't trust this guy with my wires. I don't know if he does it. I'll trust him with my hair because I know he's competent in it. But now I call you to now do my wires. Even if I was going to do it, I wouldn't have done it. Another thing is also another lady who I buy food at night. Yeah. So I enjoy cooking, by the way. I don't enjoy cooking. I don't enjoy cooking. I find it, Paul. I find it as a time wasting, but a bit personal. Maybe another time we can have a different conversation.
But eating is not time wasting.
Eating it's on time.
Priority.
Yeah, so I don't enjoy. So I find it easier buying. So there's the lady who I normally, before she closed, I buy food from. She's also in Car West. And then one day I went there. She served me food. And then I asked her a question. At that time, she was doing Aviator. Aviator is like the ones who don't know. It's like a Kenyan betting kind of thing. She was doing Aviator, but I realized she looked so out of place. Like, she's selling to us food. She's doing Aviator. And then one of her clients come in, and then she's starting to sell. She starts telling them, the client asks her, "Na hizo gari ulikuwa na post kwa status bado ziko?" And then
Translate.
Now the question was, and those cars that you are selling on your WhatsApp status, are they still there? And then now later on they start joking about it. And then she talks about, even now I'm selling, she says in Kiswahili, sasa ata sahi nauza ndege, meaning ata sahi I'm selling an aeroplane. So she said, look at my status, there's an aeroplane I'm selling for
Real aeroplanes or airplane mode?
Real. Real.
Kites, not kites.
Real, no. And she was telling, so she was telling us, mukipata buyer unaweza kula 2 million hapo.
Wow. If
you get a buyer, you can get 2 million there. You can get some millions there.
Some commission.
But now I was asking her, if someone texts you and tell you, someone serious who is looking for an aeroplane decides to text you and ask you, does this aeroplane have this future? And I ask her, what would you say? And then she tells me, she now says, siwezi kosa kujua. That means I'll know what I'll do with that person. Yeah, but that just shows us. And then one of the discussions we had with her is that she was looking to get rich quick. Because she was telling us that lazima, she has to get rich. Lazima omoke, that's what she was saying. She has to get rich. So that made me think, I was like, enyewe, I see the way she's struggling. Her business is open the whole night. She's doing Aviator. She's selling aeroplanes. She's selling cars. And she's exhausted as crazy. Eventually, you know what happened? She closed down her business.
Yeah.
The one that was actually giving her income. Yeah, because of all those things going on. Yeah, so that's something.
Yeah.
You're saying she was not selling aeroplanes? That one
she was selling.
No.
She
You said
on her
that her
status.
her food one is one that was
Maybe I don't know if our aeroplane went.
Are you
Maybe one
saying that
aeroplane went.
maybe someone bought?
Maybe someone bought an
Maybe, then she
aeroplane.
moved out.
Yeah.
A chopper. It was a chopper.
So it's so interesting because that's what many people do. They and there's nothing wrong about it, except you need to figure out which is your priority and what are the other things that I can do or do as a passive income. Because we still also advocate for having streams of income, but you need to narrow down and say what's my core that I can figure out to become my platform for fruitfulness, while the rest can be passive income.
Yeah.
Because if you are doing everything at the same time, it means, you know the quote that says jack of all trade and master of none. So it means I'm trying everything myself, but I'm not giving 100%.
Yeah.
So yes.
Can I give out an example?
Yeah.
One of the I employed a coach who had the same behavior.
In your gym.
Yeah, in my gym. So he used to be in many gyms. He used to be in many places.
Yeah.
So one of the things I wish he did. So also the problem of not of doing many things if you fail to grow in leadership. So he failed to delegate. So I hope he had delegated. So he'd come. He's from Westlands. He's coming. He has a session in my gym, and then he comes late. Let's say it's at 6:10. At 7 p.m. he's supposed to be in another gym. So he has to do a good job here. And then the other gym, so he's late everywhere. So that's one of the things that I realized. So I've realized with that comes with also a thing of people don't grow in. So it's a trust problem. I don't know if it's a trust problem. I don't know if that's is it a trust problem that we have of trusting people to delegate and to run our own things?
It could be, but also it could be I want to do everything.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's that thing for activity. It's that thing for the more I do, the more I succeed.
Okay, so it's...
But I feel like it's a lie because it means, you only have 24 hours.
Okay.
So you can imagine even for the Japanese, if they do their 16 hours and then they still have side hustles. What time do they sleep? What time do they spend time with family? So it's that thing that we've been saying that the world defines success a particular way, but if you play by the rules of the world, you will succumb to the circumstances of the world.
Yeah.
Because you only have 24 hours and you are only one person.
Yeah.
And if you want to do everything at the same time without delegating, then it means you will be active, and in the face of the world, people are like, wait, this one, who you? This is a serious person.
Yeah.
But what we are saying in this episode today is you can be busy but barren. Not being fruitful. Yeah. And barrenness is not a good thing, especially in that context of work. Yeah? Yeah. I don't know about you guys. Have there been any seasons where you've experienced great success, notwithstanding the little effort that you put in? Have there been spaces like those where you've not, the way the world now says you have to do many things, but for you've narrowed down to one thing, you've been faithful at that one thing, so it's not a lot of effort, but you've been diligent and faithful in that one thing, and then you've experienced great success.
Want to go first?
All
right. I feel like this is one of the benefits of being a Christian, really and truly, because God supplements most of the work ideally you're supposed to do. But if I could just narrow down to an experience or a season in time, I would say the first time, I guess I would call it my manna season. So manna is when the Israelites were crossing the wilderness and the Lord just provided manna for them, and they didn't have to work and they would eat.
Then they were like, what manner of love is this?
What manner of love?
Behold, what manner, your manner.
So for me, I guess I would
your manna season.
My manna season, I would term it as the year I did Discovery. Discovery is a 1-year internship program in church where the only thing you do is serve in church. So apart from Mondays, which was our Sabbath, Tuesday to Sunday, we were always serving in church. Now that's very countercultural because people are working, people are doing their careers and all that. And it did feel like being pushed back. But, I used to meet some friends of mine. In that same year, I have friends who are working. In fact, I have a friend who was working in a really good audit company who quit because he never had time to enjoy the money he was getting. Meanwhile, me, I was just serving in church, and he used to almost be annoyed at how happy I was. Because what do you mean? He used to leave work, and then because it's auditing, you have to carry your work home, especially during that financial thing, and companies are all trying to meet the government requirement. So he was always busy. So it didn't matter that he was paid so much. Meanwhile, for me, in terms of now like serving, and then we would go for missions. So I remember that year I went to Yatta, I went to Migori, I went to Sijui Sagana, I went to Kitale. I traveled so much on not anything that I had done. It's just that I was there. And so when people were called to do missions, I was there. And just serving faithfully in church. And that season really helped me focus on what does success now look like, even moving forward. That even people who had all the money didn't have the time to do it. And I don't think God created us to just have money, which we are not against money. It's not what we are saying. Just given the title of what we are talking about, and I think someone could reevaluate that activity doesn't always equal productivity. And you could end up barren. And because I had the opportunity to just contrast my life and friends of mine we had just left school. So them, they went into the career, and me, I felt like I'd been pulled back, but it was such a wonderful season. Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, thank you for your perspective, Jane. What about you, Sammy?
Just to rephrase the question was what we've done with little effort but gotten a lot.
Yeah, what have you narrowed down and focused on as one thing, but then you've ended up getting great results or success?
Okay. So for me, it's my current business, the gym. So
shout out to the gym. What's the name of the gym?
Road to Pro Gym.
Road to Pro Gym.
Give it up for Road to Pro
out
Gym. Out in Car West, Nairobi Car West.
Yeah.
If you want to keep fit, we are the place to be. Yeah. So one of the things that I've done, I've learned how to... So I narrowed down towards... Normally, I was a person of starting many things. But when I started it, I even asked God, I told him, just teach me how to stay in without starting many things. Like I also, the time I started, I had other opportunities, many to do. So I really needed to learn how to stop and decide, like, this is something I'm going to focus on. Yeah, so I'm seeing the results right now. I'm seeing, at the beginning, of course, it was crazy, but these days, it can run without me, the other people to do some things. I really don't have to worry about whether I'm going to make income or not, all those things. So narrowing down with that, that has been something, So deciding to stick to it and narrowing down to it.
Wow. I love it. Thank you so much for that. I remember for me, there is a season we decided with my wife earlier on in our marriage that
shout out your wife.
Shout out my wife.
Ow. That's in the well.
So we decided earlier on that we're going to live on one salary. And interestingly, we started doing that, and then COVID hit. But then when COVID hit, it gave us, at least we were able to cut down on some things. Like we were not even getting out of the house, so there's no transport. There are certain things at least that we were able to cut down on so that we can live on the one salary. So interestingly, and this is where they normally say opportunity meets preparation. Interestingly, towards the end of that year, after saving for several months, an opportunity came to buy land. And we had the money. Like we were like, if this had come like a year ago, you didn't get to Peter. It would have passed us. So we got this opportunity to buy land. And long story short, we ended up owning 10 acres of land.
Wow.
Now it's in a place where land was a bit cheaper or more affordable. But we can say at least we got land. We got Then when you think about it, it was not because of hustling. It was not because of striving. It was just because of the discipline of saying, let's save. And when the opportunity comes, whatever it is that will come, we can invest this money. But also just sacrificing a little bit. And the fact that we were in a COVID season, it meant that we didn't have as much expenses as before. So we were able, like, it was not a hard stretch. And then we ended up being landowners. And so that's the conversation we are having. We are saying that you don't need to be super busy and super... so active everywhere, spreading yourself everywhere for you to be successful. You can actually be successful by simply following the blueprint that God has given us. So We will continue this conversation in the next episode. And in the next episode, we are now going to talk about, so what does someone have to do to actually achieve good success according to the principles that God outlines? And we're going to call it proximity.
Pro what?
Tell your neighbor proximity.
Proximity.
Over performance.
Over performance.
Proximity over performer. Proximity is the thing that is going to give you success, not performance, not being active and being a busybody.
Come on.
But I want to ask you to do a poll for me, and we will do this as a parting shot. Do a poll for me and tell me where you lie in these 4 categories. And even for us, we are going to do a poll.
Yeah.
At the moment in your season of life, are you busy and fulfilled? That's number 1. So you can write on chat which one is your category. Are you busy and fulfilled? Are you busy and drained? Super exhausted? Are you rested and guilty? Oh, there are people, I think you had mentioned that, you when you rest and you've not finished some house chores, you feel like, yeah. Are you rested and guilty? Or are you fruitful and peaceful? Hey.
Wow.
Now don't rush to the last one. If keep it real. Here we say we are real people with real issues coming to a real. Busy and fulfilled, busy and drained. Are you rested and guilty? Or fruitful and peaceful?
I like number 4.
Number 4, eh?
You like it?
You like it, or is that your description?
No, it's not my description, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which one is yours?
My description is number 1.
Number 1.
I'm
busy and fulfilled.
Yeah.
And for you?
I feel like I teeter between busy and fulfilled and rested and guilty. Yeah.
I see. I think for me as well, sometimes I'm at busy and fulfilled. And then sometimes I oscillate with fruitful and peaceful.
Wow.
And so depending on the season, but in most cases nachezea or I play between those two.
Yeah.
The idea is to slow down, reevaluate your goals, who is defining success for you, and start analyzing that and saying, I want to actually be fruitful and peaceful. So if you stick around in the next episode, we are going to be talking about how you can achieve fruitfulness by maintaining proximity. You don't want to miss this one.
Come on.
Stick around.
And so thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Fearlessly Rooted Podcast. Amazing hanging out with these amazing friends of ours, Sammy and Jane. Of course, Sammy is the life of the party. You can hire him to your party. And after the party, you go to his gym. But it's been amazing. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please share this video and see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.